In our last session, we have started Snowflake and we have seen users and rules, how to create users and how to assign roles to those users. We have seen. Today we'll see some other concepts. Okay. Uh, we have created virtual warehouse. One is small, one is extra small in our last session. So today we will try to create a multi-cluster warehouse. Multi-cluster means I'll tell you. So go to warehouses. This is all possible only with the account admin roles. Okay. So till now, all of these are single clusters. If you see here, this is a single cluster. Sorry, it is showing the number of notebooks or number of scripts using this warehouse. It is showing that. So let's not go with this. All of these are single node. Single node means only one machine is helping us to process the queries. When I say machine, assume it as a computer. Okay. So all of these computers are maintained by the Snowflake. So here in our case, this Snowflake is hosted on AWS cloud. So these clusters will be provided by the AWS cloud. Okay. Now in case of multi-cluster warehouse, we will decide how many clusters we want. Cluster is like a group of computers. Okay. Group of computers working together to process some query or to process some work. Okay. So let's create a multi-cluster warehouse. The warehouse name is, I'll name it as multi-cluster warehouse. Okay. Choose this as a standard Gen 2. Size should be extra small considering the cost of that. Check the advanced options. You know auto resume and auto suspend options. So here we have an option called multi-cluster warehouse. Enable this option. See here, scale compute resources as query concurrency needs change. I'll tell you what does it mean. So when as soon as you select a multi-cluster warehouse, it is asking you the minimum number of clusters and the maximum number of clusters. Meaning that, so if you are trying to use this warehouse, how many computers do you need? How many are the minimum do you need and how much max do you need? So let's say I'm running a huge workload. I want minimum three computers to be associated with the warehouse. Okay. And maximum is eight. Okay. So what I'm telling here is, I want to have an extra small warehouse, extra small size clusters with a minimum three extra small and maximum eight extra small computers is what I need. This is what I'm trying to say here. So whenever we submit a query to this warehouse, it will start with three. The minimum is three, so it will start with three. As it sees or as it finds the workload is increasing, so then it will go until 8. Okay. As the workload increases, it will go until 8 and use all of them. And once the query execution is done, it will come back to the 3, and after 5 minutes of inactivity, it will suspend. That is how this multi-cluster warehouse works. It is like in a project there are multiple people working on it. So if the same person have to do all the tasks, it would take a lot of time, right? So what the organizations will do, they'll hire a bunch of employees, let's say for each project, and people are working. So initially they have started with one employee. Later, as they see that the workload has increased, they have hired the employees. Okay, 10 people are working together. So it makes our job easy and it makes the deliverables faster, right? Here also, if uh, depending on the work, they are starting with the three clusters, and they will go until 8 based on the workload. Once the work is completed, we will be terminated or we will be fired from the organization. So the same thing happens here, or we will be uh, kept on a bench if there is no project. So it works the same way. So I'm going to create this multi-cluster warehouse. Okay, now it is created. So in the real times, you are not bothered about creating the warehouses, creating the roles, users, all of that. But still, you should know because in the interviews they are expecting everything. Okay, it is also good if you know all these concepts. So that's how the multi-cluster warehouse is created. So we will be using that later. So see here, three minimum is three and maximum is eight. And in case of other clusters, minimum is 0 and the maximum is 1. 0 because they are not being used right now. Okay. They are all in suspend mode. That's why 0 are being used. If we spin up this cluster or spin up the warehouse, then it becomes 1. Let's say I'll start this. So click on these three dots. Click on resume. Okay, now the warehouse is resumed. Let's see. See here now 1 of 1. We have only one cluster, one is already available. So in case of multi-cluster warehouse, we have these are all the queries. Oh my God. So okay, no problem. I have created the account, so might be people are using that. Okay, I have created this multi-cluster warehouse, and only three of eight are started because basically it will start with the minimum number of clusters and it will go till the maximum. Okay, that's about the warehouse. So let's go to the worksheet and I'll tell you few things on the worksheet. Here you can rename your worksheet. So you will be working on multiple tasks, right? So if you want to manage each in a separate tab, you can manage that by renaming your workspaces. Here it would be users and roles. So the next one, let's say I will be now going through types of tables. Before going to types of tables, we need something else, time travel. Okay, we will discuss these two in parallel, time travel and types of tables. Okay, first let's write down types of tables. We will not be able to complete it in one go because we have multiple types. So basically, or in general, in any SQL database, we have two types of tables, permanent tables and other is temporary tables. These two are common anywhere, not only in Snowflake. Any SQL database comes with these two types of tables, permanent and temporary. Whatever tables we have created so far, they are all permanent tables, meaning that once they are created and unless and until we drop that, the tables are existing. They won't be destroyed. They are existing. In case of temporary tables, we have created in the Microsoft SQL Server. This table will be valid only for a session or for a period of 8 hours. After that, it will be automatically dropped. This is created for temporarily holding the data. Okay, these are the two types any database comes with. Snowflake has few other types like the transient table. I'll tell you the meaning. And we have external table and also hybrid table. Hybrid tables we may or may not be using, but still this is one of the type. Okay. So first we'll discuss the first three types. Later we will go to external and hybrid because they need some external features, external things, the cloud environment and setup. Okay. So permanent table, it is straight away. mm, The table exists forever unless and until it is dropped. Okay, this is the general idea. Okay, this is a general feature of a permanent table. But when it comes to Snowflake, we have a time travel applicable on all these tables. So time travel means historical versions of the data. Okay, let's say we have created tables every day. Sorry, every day we will be doing some DML operations on that: insert, update, delete based on the data coming from the source. We will be doing all those operations. Uh, I, for some reason, there is some issue with the table. I want to see how the table was looking like at some point. Okay. I want to, today also some data is loaded, but there is some issue with the table and the data. So I want to get it back to the yesterday state. How was, what was the state of the table yesterday? I want to go back to that state. Or before 10 days, how was the table? So in order to check the data at any point in time, time travel is required. Okay. So time travel is required. So generally for permanent tables, we can go until 90 days back in time. Okay, 0 to 90 days. Not 0, 1 to 90 days. The time travel for permanent table is maximum 90 days and minimum is 1 day. If you don't define the time travel, by default it would be 1 day. If you set to some time, then it would be that number of days. Okay, so the maximum is 90 days. Meaning that on any table, if you set the time travel to 90 days, we can go 90 days back on that table, provided that the table is already existing at that point of time. So see, now in our case, we have created Snowflake account only 2 days back. Even though we provide time travel as some 10 days, how we will be able to uh, check 10 days of history on that table, because the table itself was created 2 days ago, right? So that's how the time travel works. We will see some examples on the time travel. So first of all, let's complete these definitions. So has a time travel of 1 to 90 days. Okay. Here, table exists only for a session or for a period of 8 hours. Time travel is 0 or 1 day. Because this table itself is getting created, there is no point in talking about the time travel. Time travel is 0 or 1 day. Okay. Transient table. This is also similar to the permanent table. This table will not be dropped unless and until we drop it. But the major difference is that it doesn't have a time travel. It has a maximum time travel of only 1 day. Okay. Transient tables are used as intermediate tables in the pipelines. Okay. They are not the final endpoint or the final target tables which will be exposed to business, because if we are exposing that to business, there should be some time travel applied on that, because if something goes wrong we have to trace back. So that's the reason transient tables are not used as the target tables. So these are used as intermediate tables in the pipelines for staging the data. Staging means the initial load. Every day it gets loaded and deleted, or for some intermediate purposes we'll be using it. Has a time travel of only 1 day. Okay. So external tables and hybrid tables we will discuss later, because external table, this is not a table in Snowflake itself. It will refer some external location. Okay, let's say we have files on the external storage, AWS or Azure. On those files, I want to read those files in Snowflake, but I don't want to load the data into Snowflake. Okay, without loading the data into Snowflake, I want to read the files. That is possible through external tables. So reading the external files on cloud storage without loading them to Snowflake. Okay. So for that, we need some extra things like creation of the cloud account and then creation of external stage. There are some things involved over there. So when we create our cloud account, we will get to that. So here, time travel is not applicable. We generally don't talk about time travel in case of external tables. Okay. So, and coming to hybrid table, because in the external table, data is not managed in the Snowflake to get the history. So that's why we generally don't use time travel on the external tables. So in case of hybrid table, this is totally a new concept or a totally a different concept. So generally Snowflake is a OLAP system. We know that. You know what is OLTP and OLAP systems. OLTP is the transactional database and OLAP is the analytical database. So Snowflake is meant for analytical processing, not for transactional. But this hybrid table is designed to support both transactional and analytical process in the same system. Okay, so uh, we are just going to discuss this theoretically. We are not going to implement it. Okay, because I have rarely seen people using these hybrid tables. Is designed to support both OLTP and OLAP workloads at the same time. Okay, it is meant for both write heavy and process heavy. It is meant for both. That's about the types of tables. We will create them, but first let's see the tables. I'm telling time travel is retrieve historical data at any point in time within the scope of number of days of time travel. So if we have specified time travel of 10 days, we cannot go beyond that. That is the meaning. Let's say now, first let us see the tables available so that you will get some idea. In order to see the list of tables available in the Snowflake, we have to use show tables. Similarly for show roles also. Okay, let's see the tables. Okay, let's focus on our tables. These are the 5 tables we have created. What is this? Observability, Cortex. Okay, these are all the sample database data sets. Don't worry about them. Okay. If you see here, there is a retention time. This retention time is nothing but the number of days of time travel. This is by default one because we did not specify time travel on any of these tables till now. By default, it is 1 day. Okay, so this is one of the important things. By default, the time travel is 1 day. Okay, by default, the time travel is 1 day. So let's say here it is showing 9 rows. What is this table? Customers table. And what is the second table? This is only one row. So let's say when was this created? It was created yesterday. Okay, so select star from, let's select the context here. This is setting the context. I'm uh, habituate this process, setting the context. Okay, select star from. I'm taking this first customer table. Okay, this is the state of the data right now. So let's say I want to see this data. How was it looking like yesterday? Okay. So first of all, let's see the current date. Select current timestamp. I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Okay, this is the current timestamp, but this table was created yesterday. Let's show tables. Okay, this table was created yesterday. So when you are specifying the context here, it is limiting the tables to within that database and schema. Earlier, we are also getting the other database related details also. So now we are not getting it. Okay, this table was created yesterday. So let's say I want to, so the current state of the table is we have 9 rows. Okay, so I want to see how it was at this point in time. So what did the current timestamp give us? It is giving uh, the timestamp of the location in which we have hosted this Snowflake account. I think we have hosted Malaysia or something, uh, or it is giving some other time zone. Let's see. Current timestamp with no time zone. Let's see this. This will no time zone will give us the. I think this is GST. What is this time? Some time zone it is giving. I don't know what it is. So, but in this table, it is capturing, sorry, in this show tables, what was the time it is capturing? Is it IST or some other time zone? Okay, it is not IST. It is definitely some other time zone. Let's see. So, select start from customer. So while retrieving the historical data, we can do it in 3 ways. Historical data can be retrieved in 3 ways. One is using the timestamp, offset, and statement. Okay, there are 3 ways to retrieve the historical data. So let's try to see all of this. One second. Select star from customer. Is the spelling correct? So I want to see the customer's data at timestamp. This is the syntax at timestamp. Let's say at this point in time. Okay, I want to see how was the table looking like at this point in time. From is missing, sorry. See here, the time travel is not available for the table customer. The requested time is either beyond the allowed time travel period or before the object creation date. So I have given the date as 22nd, but when was this table created? Sorry, this will show us when was that created. This was created on 22nd. So the table was existing, but still why was it not giving? Because the retention time is only one day, but we are trying to go back 2 days. That's why it is not allowing us. Let's make it 23. I think we are even beyond this. Okay, so at this point, at this point, the data is already 9 rows. Okay, so as soon as the table is created, maybe 2 days back, the data was already inserted, but here we don't have the flexibility to go back until that days. Let's say now I will set the retention time on this. Alter table, set data retention time, retention time in days equal to, let's say I want to go back 7 days. Sorry, the table name I'm missing. Okay, it has executed successfully. Now let's make it 22 and see if it works or not. See here, it is not allowing because the table might not have been created at this point in time. Let's make sometime 34. It is not accepting because right now we have set the time travel to 7 days. Earlier it was not there. Okay, so now let's say with the offset, I can go back. So here you are saying at this point in time, let's say before. I want to know how the table was before this timestamp. Let's make it 23. Okay, before this timestamp also it was having 9 rows. Let's make this timestamp 0. Okay, we don't know exactly at which point the table was created, but we cannot go back until 2 days because by default it was 1 day. During the table creation itself, we have to specify how many days you want to go back. Otherwise, if you have given 7 days now, so you will not be able to go 7 days back straight away because till this time no versions was maintained, no versions are captured for this data. That's why it was not able to go 7 days back. So let's say we have already passed 7 days now. So on the seventh day, you will be able to get back the 7 days, or tomorrow you will be able to get back yesterday's data. So right now we are able to get yesterday's data because there is only 1 day of time travel set. Okay. So now let's see using the timestamp or offset. I'll try to do it.
Hi, Pratibha.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, actually, after creating this customer table,
Hmm.
by mistakenly I uploaded duplicate rows as well. That means
Uh,
it's around 14 I updated. Later I deleted.
mm-hmm.
We can find out that one.
That's what I'm telling. At the point in time when you have created the table, there is
Mm.
only 1 day of time travel set, but you have did that operation beyond 1 day.
Yeah.
That's why you are not able to retrieve. So I'll take some example. I'll try
Mm.
to delete it and I'll show you now. Okay, so let's take my customer table. Let's start from customers. Okay, we have only one row here. I'll insert few more rows into this. First of all, let me set the retention time on this. So retention is 7 days. Okay, now I'm going to insert the data. First of all, select the current timestamp here so that we will go back. Okay, at this point in time, we have only one row in the customers table. So let's insert few more rows. Insert into customers, values, 2 comma B. Okay. So this is executed. Now let's see. Select star from customers. Right now you will be having two rows. This is the general query. We write it. Okay. So now I want the historical data. Select star from customers at timestamp at a timestamp. So let's take this one. Okay. See here at this point in time we have only one row. Okay. Let's say before this. Before this also we have only one row. Okay. Before also we have one row. Let's try with after. I think after is not supported. Okay. After is not supported. So at or before if you want to have after, provide the later timestamp here. Okay. So now let's try to get it. The table was created some 2 days ago. Let's see show tables where it is. Okay. So this table was created on 21st. Okay, let's first go 1 day back. Again, select the current timestamp so that exactly 24 hours it will allow. Sorry, current timestamp. Okay, this is the current timestamp. I'll paste it here on 22nd. Let's see if you are able to go back to this or not. At or before we have to specify. Okay, we are able to go back. Let's say I'll go back just 1 hour 18. We are able to go till that point. Let's see. Let's make this date 21. If we are able to go till this time, we will be able to go back on the other table as well. See here, it is beyond the time travel. Let's make it 22. I'm changing the hours here. Okay. At this point, we don't have the time travel applicable because we right now we have set it to 7 days, but we cannot go until that. We will be able to go back only 1 day. So we will be able to go back till 22nd. Okay, so now I'll try to insert few more rows again. 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have inserted 5 rows. Now the current state of the table is select start from customers. It would have 5 rows. Okay, till now we are checking only with the timestamp. Okay, we are checking only with the timestamp. Let's say again with the timestamp. So 24. I think is it the current timestamp is giving 23. That's why we should go back till 20. Sorry, 26 and 23. Earlier it was like that. Now the state is different. Sorry, there is semicolon missing here. Okay, earlier it was like that. Now the state is different. Let's see using the offset, or one second, current timestamp again, or before this timestamp or after this timestamp. Let's make some changes to this date. Okay, so 1936 at this time, how it was only one row. Let's make it 37, still one row. Okay, let's make this 45. I have captured it before inserting, right? But then 90, it was created. It's 1942. The other one got executed immediately after that, but still, why are we look? It is looking like that. I think we are not at this time yet. Okay, let's go with the offset. Select start from customers. Add offset. Offset means the time interval, how many minutes or hours back you want to go. Okay, let's say offset. I want to see how the table was looking like 5 minutes ago. Here we have to provide it in the seconds. Okay, 5 minutes into 60, it is 300 seconds. I have to do it minus because I want to see 5 minutes ago. Okay, so 5 minutes ago, see, we have two rows. Let's say I want to see 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago is 120. Okay, 2 minutes ago, this was the data. Let's say 3 minutes ago, 180. Okay, so 2 or 3 minutes ago, the table was like this. If you want to go one day back, 24 into 60 into 60. Here we have to provide it in seconds. So one day ago, it was like this. Maybe 2 days ago, we won't be able to go back, might be. See here, 2 days ago, it was not able to go back. So, right, this is using the offset. Now let's say I'm going to delete something. Delete from customers where customer, I don't know, where ID equal to 1. Okay, one row is deleted. So for every query, it will be captured on the background. Let's see, somewhere we will have the query history. And sorry, I don't know, it has restarted. Please let me know if I'm audible and my screen is visible. Please confirm.
Yes, bravo.
Okay. Okay, for every query, whatever we are doing, create, update, delete, or whatever it is, the query ID will be generated. So if you want to see the state of the data before a particular query is executed, you can get it from here. Let's say I have deleted the query here. So this is the query ID for the delete. Let's copy this. So select star from customers. This is the current state of the data. ID 1 is not available. Let's say I want to see the data before that query execution. Start from customers before the statement. The statement ID we have to provide here. Okay, before this statement, how was the data? Now, okay, so before this delete, it was like this. So if you want to see exactly at that point, so in all of these cases, either timestamp or offset or a statement, it will give at or delete. At this statement, it is deleted. By using this statement, it was deleted. Okay. Uh,
Probably lost you when you copy the statement. From where you copy that statement?
from the query history on the left side, if you see, there is a tab called query history.
Mm.
Okay. So during the table creation itself, you can set the time travel, or after the table creation, you can set the time travel using the alter statement. So how many days you want to set it, you can set those number of days using this statement. So let me show you the syntax uh, to create a retention time during the table creation itself. Create a table, test time travel. I'm just worried about the table and how it works, not about the data. Here we have to set data retention time in days equal to 5. Okay, so this is how we can set it during the table creation itself, or after the table creation you can use the alter statement. Okay, that's about the time travel. Any doubts here? If you don't define the time travel, by default it would be 1 day, but if you define that, it would be that number of days. Let's say I'm going to create a temporary table now. First of all, let's see the show tables again. If you see here the number of retention days, it is 7 days for the customers tables and 5 days for the test time travel table. Okay, so now I'll create, these are all permanent tables. Let's see, somewhere there would be a type as well. Okay, here, see here, if there is also another table called dynamic table. Dynamic table, we will discuss that later, helps in achieving near real-time ingestion. Near real-time means as soon as the data is available on the source, it has to be available on the target. That's called near real-time ingestion. Achieving near real-time ingestion. Okay. So here if you see this, this there is a column called is external, which means whether it is an external table or not. It is saying no, it is not an external table. So here there is an one more option. Is it a hybrid table? No, it is not a hybrid table. Is it a dynamic table? No, it is not. So these are the types of tables, and the owner role type, it is owned by the roles. It is owned by account admin. These two tables are owned by the DE owner and the other tables are owned by the account admin. Okay. So
So by using a timestamp, we can find out by that particular term what is the data inside the table,
Yes.
particular timestamp.
Yep.
Okay. Other than that, we can able to find out the rest of things. I mean, so who is created, who is working, and who is deleted, who is added, and set the data. All
No,
these
no, 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 no. That is who added, who deleted. That is not. We cannot trace back to the person, but we can trace back to the role.
only role.
Yes.
But in that role, we can see multiple users are there, right? So
Yeah,
how can
yeah.
we find if you delete one, any record is deleted? How can we find out?
Which person? That is not traceable.
Oh,
Let's say show users. So these are all the users. So what roles they have access to. Somewhere it will also show the roles available to them. See, the type is person. Let's say show grants to users. Somewhere there would be some commands. Show roles. This would show the roles. These are the roles available, and yeah, show grants to users. Please specify. Show grants to user. We have to provide the username, I think. Okay, let's take for this person. Okay, this person, this user was created on this date. It has the privilege of usage on this role, DE role. Okay, so we can trace back only to the role. We cannot trace back who deleted that. But using which role it is deleted, we can know that. Okay, so let's go to our query history. So using the query history, you can find out who did what. See here, this is all done by me, my user. So in the last, see here, users also it's showing all. I want to see all the users who are querying in last 3 days. Okay, let's see who are all others querying. It's only you, Srinivas. I don't see any other persons using this account. Okay, so here is my account. I have logged in with the other account to show you how it was working. So using the query history, you can trace it. Okay, maybe for you, it might not show all the other users. You should have account admin to show all other users. It might show only your queries for you. Okay, so using this, you can identify the person who did it. Hope that answers your question.
no.
No?
I said okay.
Okay. Okay. Now coming back. So let's create some temporary table. Let's say you have deleted this data and you want to restore the data. Okay, you want to restore it by the time travel. Let's see how you can restore the table. Select. Sorry, we have to create or replace the table. Create or replace table customers. Let's say the customers uh, on 23rd, 4th month as select star from customers at, let's say, offset 24 hours ago. How was my table? 24 into 60. You can provide the pre-calculated number or you can do the calculation here. Okay, the table is created. Let's bring it. Okay, so now let's see the select star from that table. Okay, 24 hours ago, this was the state of the table. You are able to retrieve back. Okay, so that's one thing. You can either do with offset timestamp, whatever you need, you can do that. Okay, so now let's try to create the temporary table and the transient table. So for creating a temporary table, for creating the other tables, the permanent tables, it is straightforward. Create customers with the columns. Here we have to provide the keyword temp. Temp means temporary table. So I'll name it as temp customers. The table name is temp customers with only ID and name.
So that customers underscore 2304, it will copy only data, or it will copy retention time. We are giving 7 days, 5 days, right? That one also it will
It
copy.
will also do that. If you have a doubt, let's see this. The retention time, it did not copy. There is a way to copy the retention time as well. I'll show you. That needs clone.
Okay. So it will copy only data. At particular time, what is the data is available, it will copy the
Yes,
same data. Okay.
yes. Okay, now we are creating a temporary table, customers. Sorry, what happened? Create temp table. Okay, table is created. Now let's see show tables again. Here, the kind of the table is temporary. All of the others are just the table, which means a permanent table. This is temporary table. So let's see the time travel for this. Retention time is 1 day. By default, it would be 1 day. Okay, let's say I want to increase the time travel for this. Alter table, temp
So
customer.
after 1 day, the temporary table auto deleted, or
Yeah, auto drops. You won't
auto
even see
drop?
the name. Yeah.
No. Okay.
So select alter table. This table set data data retention time in days equal to, let's say I want to make it 2 days. See here, invalid value 2 for parameter data retention in days. Because the table itself will not exist for 2 days, how will you set it? Right? That's the scenario. It is not valid. You can set it to 0. 0 is valid. But if you set it to 0, you won't be able to see what happened 1 hour ago or 2 hours ago. You won't be able to see. Okay, successfully executed. But if you do show tables, it would be 0 for this table now. Temp customer, this is 0 days. Retention time is 0 days. You can set it to 0 or 1, but not beyond that for the temporary table.
But you can see in timestamp what is there in 2 minutes back, right?
2 minutes back, yes.
Mm.
Let's see. Select star from. Now we have made it 0. I think it doesn't work. Customers at, sorry, before offset, let's say 60 seconds, 1 minute ago. It is not allowing because we have set it to 0 days now. Let's make it 1. Okay, we have made it 1. See, you are able to get it. It all depends on the retention time currently. Okay, so that's about the temporary table. Now let's create a transient table. Create you have to provide the keyword transient here. Transient table. Let's make it trans customers. with the same data. Here also the default time travel will be 1 day. Let's see the type of the table now. See here, this is transient. For this one, the default time travel is 1 day. If you try to make it 2 days, that's not possible. It will give error same like the temporary table. And customer. Okay, it is not valid. Invalid. In time travel for transient table is only 1 day. The table exists. This table exists forever unless and until you drop it. But still, time travel is not allowed. This is the only difference between the permanent and the temporary transient tables. Transient tables will not be used as the target tables where the business data is stored. It is used as intermediate tables in between the pipelines. Right. So we have seen the transient table. So time travel, we generally don't talk time travel for the other types of tables. Okay. Even though we implement it, we generally don't prefer that. And what else we are missing? Timestamp offset statement. We have seen all of them. Transient and temporary also we have seen. Okay, that's about the time travel. So how it maintains on the background is, so for every operation you are doing, it maintains a version. Okay, it maintains a version in the background. So whenever we are querying with the particular timestamp or offset, it will go to that version number and retrieve the data. It would incur cost also. As we are storing multiple copies of the data, it would cost in the storage, right? So you have to use it wisely. So that's about the time travel. So uh, there is another concept called zero copy clone. That's very small concept. Let me tell you, zero copy clone. Zero copy clone means I need to create a table, copy of the table or replica of the table, but without any additional cost. Exactly the same table as what is existing, I need to create, but I don't want to be charged additionally. Okay, for that we have something called clone. Here we are saying zero, which means zero cost. We are creating a copy and replica of that. So let's say have a customer's table. I'll say create or replace. What does this replace do? If the table is existing, it will drop that table and recreate it. Okay. Customers copy, clone. Which table I want to clone? I want to create a replica of these customers. Whatever is there in customers, I want to create a replica into customers copy. Okay, let's do this. This is the command create or replace table. Replace is optional. If you want to drop the table if it is existing, then use the replace. Otherwise, don't use the replace. Okay. I want to create this table customers copy from the customers. Okay. So let's see. The object is cloned. Now let's do select star from both the tables. Customers copy. How is it possible with zero cost? I'll explain you later. There is something called micro partitions. Okay. So we have 4 rows here. Similarly, on the customers table as well, we will have 4 rows. Both are exactly the same. Okay, let's look at the show tables. If the time travel copied or not. Yes, it would copy. Customers copy, right? This is our table. See here, now the time travel is also copied. With the clone, you will get all the features of the table. But with just selecting the data, you will get only the data. So now if you operate on these two tables, let's say I'm inserting some data into customers table, it will affect only customers. If you insert only into customer's copy, it will affect only customer's copy. So if we alter the time travel for one of the tables, it would affect only that table. Only at that point of creation, at the point of time in creation, what was the structure or what was the features of this table that would be inherited to the cloned object. But once it is created, they behave independently. Let's say insert into customers values 1. Okay. Sorry, what happened? Values. Now look at both the tables again. Okay. Customer 1 is available in the customers table. Let's look at the customer's copy. Customer's copy. So it doesn't have one, which means they operate independently. And now you will be charged for this additional one row. Okay. So how it happens on the background is, let me take this to an Excel file. Okay, this is the data. So we have two tables. Customers. Initially, this is available in customers. All the data is in some storage unit. Let's assume this is customers. Now, when we are creating a copy of this customer's copy, the same data will point to this table as well. Okay, the same table will point to this table as well. Okay, so both are having exactly the same replica. Now, while I am operating on those two tables independently, so let's say we have the ID here, ID1 and customer ID A. Now this would point to the customer's table. This copy would remain the same. Additionally, it would make a pointer for this to point it to the customer's table. Okay, let's say in the customer's copy, we have ID number 6 with E. Okay, only for this additional row you have to pay. For this additional row in the copy table, we have this additional data. Only for this additional data, you have to pay for storage. You no need to pay for storage for this because it shares the same storage as that of the original object. Okay, only for the differences we have between the two tables, we have to pay. Eh, Anyways, we will be 1 second. Yeah, anyways, I mean, when we are copying some data, at least we have to pay for one of the copies, right? So we will be already paying for this customer's table. You no need to pay additionally for the customer's copy. We need to pay for customer's copy for the additional data. Only for the additional data you need to pay. For this, it is already pointing from the same storage location. So on the background, there will be some pointers for the additional data for the same data. That's how it works. Okay. So generally, why do we use clone? Let's say we have some production tables. There was some issue on the production tables with the data. So for testing that, you have identified that you need to update some data or you need to insert some data. You cannot directly do it on the production because if something goes wrong, if your fix is not correct, then it would affect the production, which is not acceptable. So in that case, you will copy the production tables into a lower environments by creating a replica or the clone. On that cloned object, you will do whatever you want and you will give that table to testing. And if everything looks good in that testing table, you can clone the test object to the main object. Okay, that's the purpose. In order to create the exact replica of the prod tables and do some testing or whatever you want, you can do that. And finally, if everything looks good, you can clone that back. So in other databases, this is not available. So if you want to create, you have to create like as select star from the other table. So that select star is a creating a new copy. We are maintaining two different copies of the same data that would incur in the cost. But with the clone, it doesn't cost us. Okay. And also create a table as select star from other table, that is a row by row operation. It if there is a huge data, it will take a lot of time. But in case of clone, irrespective of the volume of the data, it will clone in fraction of seconds because it just has to change the pointer to two tables now. Okay, so that's about the zero copy clone. I'll stop it here. I'll be sharing this in the notes. Table types and time travel. Please practice it, otherwise you won't be able to understand or recollect. In the interviews, they'll make you to write uh, this time travel things. How do you retrieve? Okay. Please download that file and let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can drop off.